The 2020-21 season countdown is brought to you by Odds Checker, your one-stop betting hub.
Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Footy Show Daily. We are counting down to the Premier League season. Just, 6 days to go?
6 days?
6 days to go, Baz. And we are talking about the league positions. So we're going to, I don't know, are we going to do every single position on this?
Nah, I reckon we just do.
The vital ones.
The Champions League places.
The vital ones and the relegation.
And the relegation, maybe. And where Everton.
Yeah.
In one of them.
Yeah.
Before we begin, big thanks to Odds Checker for sponsoring the 2020-21 season countdown here on Toffee TV. 6 days to go till the start of the season, and if you like a punt, Odds Checker is the only app you need for the Premier League season. Odds Checker has been a place where you can compare the odds, but now you can also bet through it if you so wish to. It's like Deliveroo, but for betting. So make sure you check it out. The link is in the description. There, your betting one-stop hub. There you go.
Yeah, so let's get into it. The top four, can you see there being any change in the top four this season? Obviously, Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea and Manchester United were the top four last season.
Yeah.
Can you see Arsenal or Tottenham breaking into that this season?
No. In a word, no. I really can't. I think the top four will be the top four. I think I can see personally Manchester City winning the Premier League this season.
They're favourites, 8 to 11.
I think they'll win it, but I think it'll be very close. I think we might see similar to a couple of seasons ago, 1 or 2 points. And I think Liverpool will have another great season. I think City will have a great season this year. I think the one thing, without giving advice to Pep Guardiola, but don't overthink things. Just let your team play and defend properly. And I think if they do that, then they're good enough to win the league.
And still, listen, as we just mentioned there, there's 6 days to go. There's business to be done. Manchester City.
Another month, isn't it? Talking about
Koulibaly apparently, and he would be perfect for them. A lot of money, but would be perfect 2-3 seasons. Exactly what they want. They brought in Nathan Naki as well. He can play a couple of positions.
Ferran Torres as well.
But at the back, that's been the major problem, isn't it? I mean, they do overthink it going forward. I mean, that was one of the problems in the Champions League. You can see it. And
technically, they're brilliant. But I think where Liverpool have got the upper hand on them there is Liverpool are very machine-like. Liverpool are very efficient. They defend well and they're clinical when they get the chances, whereas City are a little bit, they overplay a bit. But I just feel that I think Liverpool have had an incredible 2 seasons. I think they were brilliant last season. I just think it's difficult to do that again, especially when you've got a team as good as Manchester City.
I think Liverpool obviously haven't brought anyone in yet. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Obviously, a lot of talk about Thiago coming in from Bayern Munich. And it's that thing of like, well, how to make that team better, you'd have to really go out. To go out and get someone who's absolute top class. Thiago is, and he would change it up for them in field, give them something else, maybe make them a little bit different, a bit more flexible. Where City look like, obviously by having the disappointments of last season, it's like they have to change a lot of things in defence. I mean, listen, he got it wrong last summer by not replacing Vincent Kompany. Yeah. That should have been the thing straight away. And they should have gone out for Koulibaly then. They should have just gone for it. And I think that would have held them off. But you're right. Liverpool just beat teams. They beat teams into submission. I always think, and I've thought this for a while, Manchester City give everybody they play a chance. Now, whether teams take that chance, it was very minimal. Last season it grew because then just more teams start to exploit those problems, those defensive problems. And as we said, Man City love to overplay, overcomplicate things. And I think we've seen towards the end of the season, every time they went behind, they were losing games. Whereas, when they go 1-up, they end up winning the game 4-5-0, no problem. But when they were going to go behind, and then teams just decided to sit in, they couldn't break them down.
Which is strange because that hadn't been a thing for Pep Guardiola's teams, but last year it did. But I think I can see City just shading it from
City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United.
I think
because Chelsea. Let's talk about Chelsea.
Chelsea, the big story this transfer window, aren't they? They've brought in Timo Werner. Looks like at the time of saying this, they may have that deal probably in place for Kai Havertz. You know, just those two alone, 142 million or something if the numbers are right. Thiago Silva's come in on a free. They brought Malang Sarr in on a free, but he's gone out on loan. You know, you're looking around that team now. Hakim Ziyech's come in as well. Lovely left foot on him. You're just looking at them and saying, you know, he's really setting them up. There's big talk, they want goalkeeper. Obviously, they had an inquiry for Jan Oblak. I mean, they got him. But that was knocked back. They're looking at keeper in France who they want at the minute. He looks like they might be the number one.
Do you think they'll be closer to Manchester City and Liverpool than they are to Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham?
It depends how it goes. They look like they've got really good signings in. It's got to gel. Lampard done brilliantly last season, and he done really well to do what he did. You know, but it's got to gel. You know, they got to the cup final, beaten by Arsenal in the cup final. You know, but obviously Champions League was done anyway. They came back and played the game. They got spanked in Munich, didn't he? But Lampard will have looked at that. Obviously, we saw the emergence of Pulisic getting better and better. I know he's out for the first few
Williams
weeks.
Gone, hasn't he? So
Williams gone, but then Ziyech has come in, and they've got Hudson-Odoi fit again, and you know they've got an embarrassment of riches really. You know, Loftus-Cheek, we saw him towards lockdown coming back. They've got Ross Barkley, who doesn't really get it. You know, was in and out. So they've got a wealth of talent there.
Yeah.
And they've put Ben Chilwell's come in as well at left back, 50 million quid for him.
All about him.
So, you know, well, but that's the thing. If they've bought so many and they've bought well, you know, so.
What's interesting is they're 12-1, Manchester United 20. Then you've got Arsenal 40-1 and Tottenham 66. So obviously Tottenham, people are expecting the traditional top 6 to be back. Arsenal obviously invested a little bit of money. Two new centre backs.
Saliba and Gabriel at centre back.
Aubameyang more settled. Willian come in as well. So you've got that. Tottenham have brought in a few quality players. Højbjerg. And all this banging is doing my head in.
Is this Arsenal knocking on the top 4 door here? Is this what you're saying? Spurs have got Højbjerg in, haven't they? And another player that escapes the name. He'll come back to me in a minute. But obviously, I look at Arsenal, right? And if it goes well, then they could really, you know, with that. If you've got Aubameyang in your team, he will score a lot of goals. If Saliba and Gabriel settle, then you've got 2 good centre-backs, ball-playing centre-backs who are quick. If they don't settle, it could be an issue for them. The defence has been an issue for them.
Well, Tottenham brought Doherty in, haven't they?
Yeah, Matt Doherty's coming from Wolves. He signed in for 12 million the other day. So every Højbjerg in to strengthen those options.
I just want to throw this in, but the bookies have got, do you know who the next team they've got on the list on? Leeds. 200-1. Higher than Leicester, Wolves, Everton and Southampton and Sheffield United.
So what, win the league?
To win the league.
That's embarrassing.
That's nonsense.
I think the bookies are gonna. I can see a few people being surprised that when Leeds don't do as well as people think they're gonna do.
The thing about it is, I understand when a team comes up, and I understood when Wolves come up because they had real quality. I don't see that in Leeds, the Leeds team.
I look at Leeds and go, he's done well, he's done a good job there, and he looked like a good side in the Championship. People underestimate the gap though. You can't catch, don't get me wrong, Leeds could catch a few people by, Sheffield United have done it, Wolves have done it, but...
So are we expecting Leeds and Leicester and Wolves, to be knocking on the door for the top 7 with Everton and Southampton, would you say? Or do you think Leicester and Wolves will drop off because of the disappointment of last season? Or do you think, because Leicester have got Europa League, Wolves haven't got anything?
I think you'd look at Leicester, and right now, without There's still 4 weeks, so they could bring someone else in as well up front. But I think you look at Leicester and you think if Vardy stops scoring, and this is essentially why they never got top 4. Vardy stopped scoring for them.
Yeah.
Just after Christmas, and he went on a poor
Maddison
run.
was out as well, wasn't he?
He lost Maddison, but Vardy's the main goal threat. Yeah. So he stopped scoring goals. It dried up for them. They fell out the top 4 in the end. I know it went at the last day, they still could have got it, but they were in such a good position. Don't forget, they were second and in such a good position, you know. And that was the issue for them. But Leeds aren't finishing above Leicester. I'd be very, very surprised if that was the case. But I think Wolves and Leicester, you see, the way I look at it in my head at the moment is you've got the top 4, I think, at the top 4. This, of course, it could change, of course it could. But the top 4, I think, will be the top 4. And I look at those other teams and go, anyone can finish 5th to 10th with those other teams.
Let's just go to the bottom 3. West Brom, Fulham, Burnley. I mean, these are Brighton, Villa, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Newcastle. I mean, where do you see those teams finishing?
Again, it's goals. You know, for me, the Premier League, you've always got to look who's capable of scoring goals. I think if you've got goals in you, you've got a decent chance. Bournemouth went down because they couldn't keep the ball out the net. They had lads who could score goals, they couldn't keep it out the other end. So therefore, you'd look at the likes of Newcastle and go, well, they're all right. Now, okay, they mightn't score a lot, but defensively, they're all right. So you'd expect them to be okay. Crystal Palace are another one that you wouldn't think you'd probably have to worry about. I think Moyes has to get West Ham right at the back. I think they have to make sure they're nice and tight at the back, and then they'll be okay. It's such a tough one. I think West Brom, I'd fear for, just because I don't know whether he can score enough goals.
Yeah, I think West Brom and Fulham are going to struggle. I think.
But Fulham have got Mitrovic.
I don't think he scores enough goals, though.
No, but he's a threat.
And I think he's also the kind of striker that in the Premier League will get pulled up for fouls left, right and centre.
I think he got something like 15, 16 goals last time.
Be interesting.
Brighton are one who...
But they're investing though, aren't they?
No, but they could go either way. They're another one who's... Have they got enough goals? Does Maupay get them enough goals at the top end of the pitch? Probably not. Glenn Murray's gone off to Watford, hasn't he? But then they could go and do a bit of business in the next 4 weeks, which turns it for them, and they go...
That third one's an interesting one because I don't really see anyone outstanding for... I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying West Ham and Fulham are outstanding, but I don't really see anyone who's the...
West Brom, not West Ham.
Well, yeah, that as well. Fortunate slip. I don't see anyone who's outstanding. Leeds, I think they'll probably stay up. Brighton, like you said, Sheffield United, will he be able to repeat it, or will teams be onto them? Will he be able to push through without not having too many new players? It's that third one's an interesting one for me. I'm struggling to really...
If Villa do get Ollie Watkins, I know there's real talk of it. If they got him, can he get enough? Can he replicate his championship form in the Premier League? It gives them an option if they get Wesley scoring some goals this year, Jack Grealish, then they might have enough.
Yeah.
But it's going to be... It's hard to predict this year, and teams can have a great start, and I'm sure if Sheffield United would have had a poor start last season, they might have been...
And again, it is that lockdown situation as well. Who suffers most without the fans and stuff. So, there you go. If you want all the odds on them, make sure to get over to the Odds Checker app. The link is in our description. Don't forget, it's your one-stop betting hub. Make sure you check that out.
Got to be 18.
Don't forget 18 and gamble responsibly as well, if you choose to do that. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think at this stage?
Who's your top four and who's the three to get relegated?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. There you go. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you later.